Did you know that there are side effects to raising your vibration? And most people don't talk about it, so let's get into it. These side effects can feel like they're negative at the time, but they're actually really positive, and let me explain. Part 1 of 4. You're raising your vibration, but your family is not. That's okay. That's okay. You guys do not have to raise your vibrations at the same rate, at the same pace. One of the most common questions I get asked is, well, what happens if I raise my vibration enough where I can go to 5D, but my family doesn't go to 5D? And then there's a lot of panic that ensues. Don't panic. This is not the rapture. Going to 5D is not the rapture. That's religion. It's okay to leave that energy inside of religion. There is no need for fear inside of spirituality. So let's look at the worst case scenario of I raise my vibration enough to go to 5D, but my family doesn't. Let's dissolve those fears. This time period right now, with all the chaos on the earth, this is the natural falling away. This is why you're seeing friendships that have gone on for decades at a time just breaking up, right? This is why you see family members falling apart way more than they ever have before. This is why you see children cutting off parents more than you have before. This is why you see large families breaking up into like smaller groups, because the vibrations, they're naturally falling away from each other, okay? It's like the separation of oil and water. It's very natural and it's okay. It's not bad. And let me tell you why. We are all learning at our own different rates, right? It doesn't matter how fast somebody learns about this stuff. It doesn't matter how fast somebody grows. It's not a race. It's not a contest. What does matter is that we all eventually get there in the end. And it may not happen in this lifetime, but remember, when you're using spirituality as your basis of understanding of everything around you that you can and cannot see, this life right here is just a freaking blip. It's just a little blip in all of the other lives that you have. This is such a short period of time. So if some members of your family don't grow at a pace in which you grow in this life, that's okay. We will all eventually get there. It is not a race. They will learn things in their own time, just as you learn things in your own time. You cannot force people to grow any faster than what they're ready for. And just like no one can make you have your first spiritual awakening, you can't make anybody else have their first spiritual awakening either. It happens when you're ready, and that is okay. So what happens if, let's say I go to 5D, but my family doesn't? Okay, good question. Before that would even happen, there would be a very natural falling apart of those family members. It's not like you're going to wake up one day like the rapture, right? Which is inside of religion. This is not spirituality talking. The rapture is religion only. It's not like you were to wake up one day and go, oh my God, where are they? And clothes are left behind and cars are crashing on the road. That's religion. That's not spirituality. There is a natural falling apart of these relationships before the split between 3D and 5D. And you can visualize this as like, when cells divide, right? When they grow and cells divide. So it's like there's two earths right now superimposed on top of each other. There's the 3-dimensional earth and there's the 5-dimensional earth. We are in this very specific, unique time period in which you can see the 3D and you can see the 5D. They're superimposed on top of each other, okay? So that means you can be living in the 5D emotionally and in your mind and be unbothered by other people's actions and be able to be the observer to all things, and you're not getting emotionally invested in things that have nothing to do with you. You're able to see all the chaos and the destruction of the planet around you without participating in that energy. That would mean that you are living in the 5D, but you can still see the 3D because one is superimposed on top of the other. We are existing in the same space in the same time before they start to pull apart and become their two separate planes of existence, okay? So while we can see this, it's like if you are living in 3D and you see people living in 5D, you can see it as an option for another way to be should you want to. It's based on everyone's free will on how they want to respond to that. It's not too late. I know some people are panicked and saying it's too late to jump on the 5D train or whatever it is. It's not too late. If it was too late, we'd already be separated, right? It's not too late to do that. So the 3D people can see the 5D people and the 5D people can see the 3D people. It's like there's this big glass wall between all of us, so we can still see all the things that are happening because we haven't yet separated. But there will eventually become a time in which those two energies separate, and then once they fully separate, okay, like fully, that's when you can no longer go hop back and forth between one and the other. And that's okay, because remember, this is only for this physical experience. Once we go to the ethereal, then you can reincarnate in whatever energy fits you. You can do whatever growth you want to go into 5D if that's what you want. And remember, when you guys separate, when families separate and fall apart naturally, when people you care about falls apart naturally, that's only for this physical existence. Once you cut your cord and you go back to the ethereal, guess what? We're all back together again. So it's okay. So live out your life to the best of your ability, doing things that bring you joy to the best of your ability. Just live the highest vibrational life that you reasonably can, do the best you can, and your family will catch up, whether it be in this life or the next life. We all get there eventually. It's gonna be okay. So even if you were to go into the 5D and your family were to stay in the 3D, there would be a natural separation that would happen before that, before the separation between the 5 and the 3D, okay? Are your friends falling away? Are you raising your vibration and all of a sudden you're realizing that it's just like really hard to maintain those old friendships? That makes sense, doesn't it? You're no longer a vibrational match for those people, and that is okay. It is okay to make new friends. It is okay to love people where they're at and realize that you can no longer hang out with them in the same capacity that you could before. That is okay. And I promise you, if you are feeling like this, they probably are too. It's just a non-compatibility, right? As you raise your vibration and old friends fall away, new friends will come into that place. It's not like you're going to be friendless and you're going to have to go be a hermit and live in the middle of the woods. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. What happens is, as those friendships fall away, they're making room for new friendships. So if you have friendships that feel really hard and just really challenging to stay connected and to it's not as fun to hang out with those people as it was before, don't force it. It feels like that for a reason. It feels like that because you're not the same, and because you're not the same, the friendships are not the same, and that is okay, I promise. But if you hold on to those old friendships that aren't even fun, that don't feel compatible, that feel so hard, then guess what? You are not allowing the new friendships to come into your space. You're really just harming yourself by holding on to old energy that's no longer compatible with you. And remember, you can still love people where they're at and love them just the same, even if you don't hang out with them as much as you did before. That is okay. Are you still hanging out with all the people that you did in high school, every single one of them? No, because we grow and we change and we become not compatible with these people over time, so we can become compatible with people that do match our vibration, right? So some of your friendships will naturally fall away. Now, probably not all of them, but some of them naturally will. And that is okay. That is just a sign that you are raising your vibration. Now, I've seen some people be really aggressive about this stage, which you don't have to be. You can enter this stage of knowing you're not compatible with these same people from a place of love and understanding. There's no reason to be aggressive. You don't need to reach out and say, we don't vibe anymore, we're not friends. That's like low vibration behavior, and you don't have to do that. Just naturally let it fall apart, right? Like a leaf falls from a tree in autumn because the leaf can no longer be sustained by that tree. Allow those friendships that don't feel like they lock anymore to naturally fall away. You don't have to rip it off the tree. Allow it to naturally fall away. And that makes room for new leaves in the fall. That makes room for new friendships to come in that are compatible with you. All right, you've raised your vibration. Now your life is in chaos. Why is that? Let's talk about it. When you raise your vibration, guess what happens? All the garbage that you were holding on to in your life that actually doesn't fit with you, that actually is not compatible with your energy, it falls away because you've risen your vibration, because you no longer can hold on to that. It's like oil and water, right? It almost like it repels itself. So when you raise your vibration, because you're wanting to bring all the goodness into you, so good, by the way, I love that for you. Guess what? You have to get rid of the garbage before you can bring the new stuff in. Think of it like a hoarder's house, okay? You've got a hoarder's house and you've got all this stuff piled up that you've been like collecting and holding on to and keeping, and that's all of your limiting beliefs, bad thoughts where you spiral, and just all of those kind of things that fit that old version of you. But now you've risen your vibration and you're a new version of you. That good stuff literally cannot come in. It does not fit until you've gotten rid of the old stuff. So that's why your life feels like it's in chaos. It's okay. You do not have to sit in the middle of the chaos and wonder when the tornado or the hurricane is going to end. You can sit across the street and kind of just watch it all unfold. So take some deep breaths. It's going to be okay. That stuff is only falling away. So the better stuff that actually does fit you can come in. And I know it can seem scary. I know, because I've been there. I've done multiple iterations of spiritual awakenings. So I completely understand. Here's the thing. Even when it's something like, let's say it's your job, right? And you're all of a sudden your job is threatened, or you lose your job and you're in the middle of raising your vibration. Instead of saying, well, how can this even happen? How did this happen? I've been raising my vibration. I've been working on myself. I've been growing, and now bad stuff's happening. Is it bad? Or is there something better that's ready for you? Is there something better that you're now compatible with? And the way to get you there is to clear out the old thing that you're not compatible with. So shift your perspective and look at it as a thing that the universe is doing for you as a favor. The universe is doing you a favor. The universe is doing you a favor. It's getting rid of the old thing because it has something new and amazing waiting for you. So when you can look at it like that, instead of all this bad stuff is happening to me, oh my gosh, you can thoroughly enjoy your spiritual awakening and the new gifts that are coming your way. Risen your vibration and your emotions have gone haywire. What gives? Well, it makes sense, right? You've risen your vibration, and so now you have the capacity to deal with some of these emotions, some of these shadows, some of these not great things that have happened to you over the course of your life. Well, that makes sense, right? Because there's things that are coming up inside of you to be healed, to be released as a side effect, as a direct correlation of you raising your vibration. And it's good. I know it doesn't feel good because you're like, why are these feelings all over the place? Because you've been holding on to them the whole time. And now it's like, oh, we can't stay here anymore. We can't survive here anymore because your vibrational energy is no longer compatible with holding on to that anger from your mother, right? Or holding on to that hatred for your ex, or whatever it is that you've got going on inside of you. You cannot hold on to those things and expect your vibration to raise. So if your emotions are going all over the place, sit with them. Don't push them away in the name of high vibe and love and light and all of that stuff, because that's not real. If you're feeling chaotic, or if you're feeling emotional, or if you're feeling extra angry or extra sad, sit with it and go, why am I feeling that? Where's this coming from? Why do I feel extra anxious? Why do I feel extra mad? What anger have I been holding on to? And if you don't get an answer right away, that's okay. I'd highly recommend something like meditation. Sit inside of a meditation and ask yourself, okay, what is this? Once you get into that deeper state of meditation where you're fully relaxed and your conscious mind is over here doing whatever it's doing, and you can completely communicate to your higher self, your subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it, then ask yourself, okay, show me where this is coming from. And it will be given to you. Do not have expectations on how the information will be presented, because it could come in like an infinite amount of ways, quite literally. Just ask and then go right back to your breathing inside of meditation, and you will get an answer. But when you ask a question inside of meditation and then you ask more and you ask more and you ask more and you ask more, could you even hear the answer as it comes at you? No, you couldn't. Just like you wouldn't talk to a friend sitting across from you, you wouldn't ask them a question, and then go, why aren't you answering me? Why aren't you giving me an answer? Why aren't you talking back? Well, girl, if you keep talking, you can't hear the answer, and the same goes for your higher self or your guides or the universe or whatever it is. If you keep your brain so busy that you can't have a moment of pause or a moment of stillness, then you're not going to get these answers you are looking for. So it's okay as you raise your vibration, and very normal for your emotions to feel like a little wonky or sometimes a little chaotic. It's coming up for you to recognize it and release and heal those parts of you. That's where things like shadow work comes in. What questions do you guys have? Drop them in the comments. Right? I forgot what I was saying. Right in the middle of the sentence. Ah, crap, I lost it.